What is up, everybody? What is up? Is that something on my neck? Is that on my neck? This is the behind the scenes thing, because this is stuff you usually should be doing before you start a live stream, but we just tend to do it while we're doing a live stream like a fool. I don't know what's on my neck, but hopefully you guys already know. And hopefully it's embarrassing as hell. Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. LSUODYSSEY.COM. I hope you watched our show last night. It was intense. It was from the heart. It was from deep within my soul, and it was very vulnerable. And it was hard for me to do that. It was hard for me to let the doors open and say, and we didn't tell you everything. We didn't tell you what happened exactly to my son and stuff like that. We told you enough to know some stuff was going down, and we really also wanted to shout out even more people. Adrian Perkins, AD Perkins, yet again, someone who followed us from the very beginning, supported our stuff from the very beginning. It was incredible. Always championed our stuff. Is, I think, still to this day the only other author to ever write an article for LSUODYSSEY.COM. Absolutely love that dude. And I'm just he's really supported us for such a long time, and he's been really working crazy hard at his new job. Not always online like he used to be, but man, love AD, love that dude. Louis Corona. Just too many annoying people walking by. So many passive aggressive, stick up their ass type of IT people who work here. Literally look like fucking robots sometimes. Seriously, Louis Corona, Sweet Lou, my dude. Skip to my Lou. Someone who comments on, I think, like almost every article we write. He seems like he reads everything. Maybe he doesn't, but he's at least commenting on it. He's at least clicking on it, supporting the crap out of it, subscribing. He's been constant, nonstop. The support is incredible from him. And Louis, we should have had you on the show yesterday to talk about this and to give you a tribute. I think this is actually more natural. This is, we're not like trying to exclude anybody, and we're not trying to like prioritize people over one another. It's just as they come to the head, I'm just boom. That person deserves love. That person deserves some love. And it's true. There's so many. Tommy Poole, another badass dude. There's so many. Holden Lee. He's a dude who's followed me, unfollowed me, followed me, unfollowed me in the past, but I think now he's just going to be following me. And we're just going to be following him because he's a good dude. And he's a badass. What can you say about Holden? I think he has more connections than people realize. I think he's quite connected with LSU. Who knows? Who knows with those connections? But I mean, that's the thing is, there's times people are like, no one will ever know who I'm connected to, blah, blah, blah. It's like sometimes we follow those little breadcrumbs and we actually are able to figure that out. Not too hard either. Really not that hard in today's day and age to figure out what's going on with that. But, LSU ranked 12th in the coaches poll, preseason coaches poll, ranked 12th. Okay. Let me read off the list. You got Georgia at number 1. Ohio State, number 2. Oregon, number 3. Texas, number 4. Alabama, number 5. Ole Miss, number 6. 7, Notre Dame. 8, Michigan. 9, Penn State. Number 10, Florida State. 11, Mizzou. 12, our LSU Tigers. So if there's a 12-team playoff, which this season there will be, LSU would be in the final spot, according to this. LSU ranked 12th, just behind Mizzou and Florida State. 13th, Utah. 14th, Clemson. 15th, Tennessee. 16th, Oklahoma. 17th, Kansas State. Number 18, Oklahoma State. Number 19, Miami. What the hell? They shouldn't even be ranked. 20, A&M. Shouldn't be ranked either. Arizona, 21. 22, NC State. They should be ranked above all those teams. Above all those teams I just was questioning. 23, USC. I really question if that team should be ranked. 24, Kansas. Actually ranked again now that Les Miles isn't coaching them. Hall of Famer, Les Miles. 25, Iowa. Iowa should be ranked higher than K-State, Oklahoma State, Miami, A&M, Arizona, NC State, and USC. So really, I don't have too many problems with the first part of this poll. I mean, like, here's the thing. They're gonna give the results that they're going to. Notre Dame always overrated. Seventh. Are you serious? You're really gonna say there's the 7th best team in the country? I don't. I can't buy into that. Oregon, number 3, is way too high. Oregon at number 3 is way too high. I don't understand how they can give them a top 5, top 4 ranking preseason, what they have done to earn that. Who on the roster? What wins did they do? Like, for me, the returning value they have on that roster doesn't equate to a top 3 team in the country. I just don't see it. Oregon, yeah, they might sneak into the top 10 in the end of things. Maybe they squeak out and win this, Big Ten or get to the championship game. But I don't see them actually having a good season, really, Oregon. And that's kind of maybe a bold take, but I don't see Oregon really doing it. I don't even see them getting to that championship game. Really, that's just my opinion. USC, Miami, A&M, none of them should be ranked. None of them should be ranked. Maybe give A&M, Mike Elko a little bit of, like, okay, they might have a pretty damn good defense this year. They had a top 10 ranked defense last year and are a pretty bad team. What will they do with Mike Elko this year? They could be a pretty damn good stingy defense, but are they going to win games? I don't think so. I think A&M will probably win 6-7 games at most this season. And I think that's generous, really. Like, I think this is a team that could absolutely implode for a season under Mike Elko until they actually kind of find their footing of where the culture is going to be, where the direction is going to be for the future of that program, because they invested everything into Jimbo Fisher and the way that he did things and buying players and throwing money, and that whole thing just blew up in their face like the end of a Peter North movie. And so it's I'm very intrigued to see where A&M go. And I really got to say, I think they're going to be on that cusp of actually being bowl eligible. Like, really, I know that sounds crazy, but I just think A&M are going to have a stinker of a season. That's not because I hate A&M. Obviously, I hate A&M, but I'm just really objectively looking at it and saying, I don't see how A&M could actually have a strong season this year, or even a solid season. Iowa should be ranked higher than a good cackle of those teams. I'd actually rank Iowa 17th in the nation right behind Oklahoma. I think 16 for Oklahoma is just about right. I think that's a good one. Auburn should be ranked. I think Auburn deserved to be ranked on this top 25. That's just me. I think Auburn, they've got all the ingredients for a team that's going to compete for the SEC championship. They're not going, probably not going to win it. Probably not going to be in the championship game. Probably not going to be one of those upper echelon teams. Probably going to finish, in that top 15, 12 through 15 slot if Auburn, at their best. But I don't think they should be unranked. So I think they're a little bit underrated here, overlooked as well. Ole Miss at 6. We know we're gonna get the, Ole Miss ass kissing because they're gonna basically go undefeated and walk to like 6-0, 7-0, or whatever it is until they come to Tiger Stadium to actually play, actually get tested finally. And that game is going to be a battle royale. Michigan at 8, I understand it. They did get a lot of returning production back, but they lost the biggest pieces of that team. The locker room's in disarray right now with what's going on. The athletic department's in disarray with what's going on. The recruiting as well. They're losing recruits left and right, including Phillip Wright to LSU, looking like he's going to be. He not only decommitted to Michigan, but now it's looking like he is pretty much 1 foot in, half of another foot to being an LSU Tiger. Michigan couldn't even get Bryce Underwood, the number 1 quarterback in the country, while they were winning a national championship from their own backyard in Belleville, Michigan. They couldn't get him to go to Michigan. So I think last year, Jim Harbaugh, it was like his one big shot. No wonder he left. His project had reached its fruition. He did everything possible to make sure you would get that championship, including cheating, and they did it. And gone, boom. And now he leaves Sherrone Moore to deal with this giant mess. I hope Sherrone Moore is able to get Michigan to like a few Rose Bowls or something, like some type of thing to give him some type of, a little bit of a bow for the type of shit he's going to have to be dealing with for the next year. I'd love to see Michigan like continue their winning ways, maybe not in a championship or college football playoff type, Final Four. They're not that exciting. I don't want to see them in that type of a scenario. But I don't want to see Sherrone Moore just fired, basically winning nothing, and was just, set up to be groomed to clean up and to be like the fall guy scapegoat for John Harbaugh's mess. Jim Harbaugh's mess in Michigan with Connor Stallions and the whole sign stealing thing. It's very strange, and I just Penn State number 9 as well. They're not that good. I think the fact that Utah are outside of the top 10 is absolutely ridiculous. I think Mizzou should be in the top 10 instead of Notre Dame. I think Oklahoma State, you could put them at 14. Tennessee, I think they could be at number 11, number 12. LSU, I think you should put them at number 10. I think LSU should be number 10 in the country right now. Entering the season, I think with the, you love what you've got on the offensive side. LSU are a, top 4 bona fide team on the offensive side of the ball. But what you've got on the defensive side, it's going to subtract all those points until they prove it on the field. And once LSU's defense starts proving it on the field, you're going to see the respect coming full circle. Until LSU proves it on the field, they're going to be disrespected by the rankings. I'm as far as defensively. So, being ranked number 12 in the nation, it doesn't like hurt me. And it makes me feel at least somewhat good that like, hey, LSU, if there's a college football playoff, theoretically, hypothetically, if this was the rankings, if this was how it ended, LSU should get into that top 12. So it works for me. And let's see, there's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams in the final 12. I absolutely could see 6 SEC teams making that Final 12. Absolutely. We've seen Jake Crane predict 5. We've seen JD Pickell pick 5. I think you could absolutely see 6 SEC clubs, SEC programs in that Final 12. So yeah, you've got some overrated teams as always, and you've got some teams that have been overlooked. But it's only a few wins and a few losses from the other guys. You're back in the top 25. You're right there, and you're climbing and you're climbing. So here's the thing: overlook LSU. I love it. I love it. Wasn't like what 2019 LSU ranked what 8, 9 going into that season. So fine. Piss on us, shit on us. It's all good. We can take a shower. We can put the bleach in our hair, whatever the hell to do to get all that gross shit out of us. And then, not bleach, my God, that'll be terrible. And then we'll be all clean and revitalized, rejuvenated for the baptism. I think LSU've got a great chance here. It's very difficult this season, this schedule. It's going to be difficult to predict. It's going to be difficult to analyze. It's going to be difficult to understand all of the variables going on. Boom, 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 boom. This season, week by week, it's going to be like strap it up. It's going to be crazy. I just feel like this is going to be one of those seasons where bullets are flying fast and furious. I don't mean to sound violent or get this video taken off YouTube for using violent language, but when the bullets are flying, it's alive. You're in the heat of battle. College football is going crazy, fast and furious. The way that the teams are aligned now in these mega conferences, mega conference setups, it's very interesting. It's very intriguing. You're going to see matchups you never really thought you would see on a college football field, or maybe they just met in the championship game or the Final Four, or whatever, once upon a time. But now that here they are in the regular season, it's like LSU are going to have Oklahoma at Tigers Stadium on November 30th. I mean, it's just bizarre. It's bizarre. I wanted to close this video. Also, I definitely want, and require that you post what you think about this 12 and your vibe on the 12. And if this does LSU justice right now. I'm not talking about what you think LSU could be. That's not what the poll is half of that, but the poll is kind of like where they're at now, how you view them right now. Also, they're voting with where they could see them be at some point, but it's a mix of that. See it through that lens, and tell me what you think about LSU being 12th and having Notre Dame, Ole Miss, Oregon 3rd. Some of this stuff's a little nuts. USC even being ranked is a little too much for me. But I want to finish up this video by giving you 5 Tigers that I think are sleepers right now to get some serious playing time this season. Whether that means starters or just heavy, big-time contributors, I think you're going to see these 5 rise through fall camp and make that possible. Prince Malbrough. He's an edge rusher. We've had many times on the show. We've had him on at least 3 times. We've had interviews with Prince. Very cool kid. Went from a walk-on to a scholarship. High-impact edge rusher player. Had 1.5 sacks in the spring game. Hasn't really played a lot because he's been kind of buried in the depth chart. Excuse me. Buried in the depth chart. And now there is a chance for him to actually rise from that depth chart. I think Prince Malveru is going to be someone. He might not get 5, 6 sacks. He might not get 3 or 4 sacks, over a few games. He might not blow up the stat line. I think he's going to come in and make an impact on every play that he plays in the game, because he's got the height, he's got the length, he's got the size, he's got the athleticism. All of it is sneaky. All of it is overlooked. All of it is kind of underrated. He's not a player that's going to really, like, you stare, oh, wow, Prince Malveru. And then when you see him making plays, that's when you understand what he's about and what this kid can absolutely do. He's another LCA kid, and you're seeing some of the LCA kids rise right now at LSU. You're seeing Sage Ryan. He's a fixed starter, either at safety or corner. He could play either, which is just incredible talent, really. And then you got Jordan Allen starting for LSU at safety in the last few practices. Had an interception on Nussmeier. He's making big strides, biggest he has in his career so far. And then you got Juwan Johnson, who just came onto the team, record-setting quarterback at LCA. Now he's a star in Blake Baker's system. Was going to come into LSU, be a safety, but now he's kind of going to be that star position, a hybrid, and really taking to it as well. All those LCA guys looking really good, looking like they're going to be high-impact contributors for this team. And Prince Malveru is another one of them. And this is a defensive line, the edge rushing unit, that needs all the help, all the bodies they can get, and they're going to be rotating a lot. So you're going to see Prince Malveru far more than you would have been able to last year, with how we just didn't rotate. Just let guys just literally burn into pillars of salt. Number 4 is Xavion Thomas. This is in no order, by the way, this top 5. Number 4 is Xavion Thomas. I think Xavion Thomas is going to be possibly, outside of Lacey or Hilton, he's going to be the most dynamic skill position guy at receiver that we've got. I keep seeing him in fall camp, and I'm falling in love with what I see with Xavion Thomas. The speed is out of control. It's a video game type speed that he's got, and he can control it too. He's impossible to tackle at sometimes. Like he's got this strength and agility enough to, like, just shed himself of any type of person trying to tackle him. He's just such an impossible guy to tackle. And then you add that with the speed, it's almost impossible. Xavion Thomas, I love what we've seen from him. He can also be a returner. Just one second. I think Xavion Thomas, I think you could pencil him in for 6 touchdowns right now. 6 overall, maybe a return touchdown and 5 receiving touchdowns. I just think he's that high impact of a player. I think he's going to deliver, and I think he's going to cash in. And I think, Garrett Nussmeier is going to want to throw the ball to him. Number 3, a running back no one's talking about, John Emery Jr. Now wearing number 22, looking different, new looks, but that knee's looking better. He looks fast. He looks furious. He looks like he's up to speed. He looks smooth. He looks like he's operating just at a relaxed Zen state right now, guys. Remember, he's graduated college. Doesn't have to worry about any school. He can just play football and focus on this big final. This is his last chance, guys. And people were like, "What? He has a last chance?" Yeah, because of the medical eligibility. So this is his last roll of the dice to really get an NFL pedigree here. I think he would still get drafted or be, picked up by a team. Even now, like, whatever were to happen, he's just that talented. But this is an opportunity for John Emery Jr. to really write a legend for himself, finish his career the way it should be finished at LSU. What we always expected from John Emery Jr., he could still do that. And it's crazy that he's played 6 seasons at LSU and never had a 1,000-yard season. That's crazy. This is his chance. Just one second. We'll have the final two in just one moment. I'm sorry, guys. I'm at work. Oh. So we were saying our top five kind of sleeper Tigers of this team that we're really. I love how people think that like my number one investment at this job is them walking through a metal detector. It's like I don't care. Like like I'm gonna do my job. I'll do that. But like this is what I care about more. Like Hi, bye, see ya. Let me get back to this. Sorry, everybody. Thank you for. It seems like more people have joined us actually in that interim. So I guess more people find the ceiling interesting. So we just said John Emery Jr. I really do think he's a sneaker here. He's a sleeper. He's a guy that I think a lot of people are overlooking right here. I'm thinking Caleb Jackson for understandable reasons, but I just think there's so much potential there with John Emery Jr. that has been unfulfilled and that is still possible. And I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to do it. I think this is the year. And I can't really say he's going to have 1,000-yard season. I can't really say he's going to have, 10 plus touchdowns on the ground rushing. But you've seen what he's done in 2022. And a few plays in 2023 as well, where he was so effective catching the ball out of the backfield, rushing the ball. He would score some of the biggest touchdowns of these games. I believe he had 7 or 8 touchdowns that season. Had 3 against A&M alone, 2 against Alabama. Scored the opener touchdown against Alabama. Scored the opener touchdown against Florida. He really made some big impact plays. John Emery Jr. hasn't even really scratched the surface of what he can do as a football player, and he's been playing for 6 years, on and off. 2 years just completely down the drain with injury and the NCAA's bullshit. I really think now the stars are aligning that he's really going to do something special here. He wouldn't have come back unless he was guaranteed to actually get a shot to win that number 1 job. I think they're going to give him that. I think he's earned that. He is only one of 2 remaining 2019 LSU Tigers, Josh Williams and John Emery Jr. But Josh Williams didn't really play. He's a freshman on that team, true freshman, redshirt freshman, and he did not play a second of that season. John Emery Jr. scored 4 touchdowns in the 2019 season as a freshman, including 1 against Oklahoma in a college football playoff semifinal. So John Emery Jr., he's been there, done that. This is a chance for him to win a 2nd national championship ring. I just think, things are on paper right now. Josh Williams 1st, Caleb Jackson 2nd, John Emery 3rd. There's kind of a pecking order. Kyron Lacey 1, Chris Hilton 2. This person, don't get caught up in that stuff. Because I'm telling you, the way it is right now on paper isn't always going to be the way it's going to be week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And even if it is the same way that it is right now for week 1, that's not going to continue that way unless LSU play a perfect game against USC in all 3 phases, which is probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be an uglier win than we expect. I would love for LSU to beat the shit out of them, but I think we're going to do that running the football. And I think you're going to see LSU close games out this season, running the football down people's throat, burning them to a crisp, absolutely wearing them the fuck down. And I think that's where John Emery Jr. comes in. I think that's where you're going to see this mix of running backs, different profiles of running backs. You got Caleb Jackson now at 235, added 35 pounds. He is going to be the diesel. He is going to be someone who's going to be powerful, smash you in the face. He needed to gain that poundage to really be able to. I mean, imagine the blows he was delivering as a freshman. Now with 35 more pounds to his body. Are you kidding me? They might need to add body bags to the referee kit when they referee LSU games with this guy running the football. So you've got different profiles. John Emery Jr., speedy, shifty, dual threat. Josh Williams can get you those tough yards, pure heart, doesn't have much speed, but it's just pure toughness and smart football IQ. Great blocking in the backfield, great blocking for the quarterback. Some dual threat capabilities. But John Emery Jr. really, to me, I think he's going to be that perfect mixture of it all. And I think alongside Caleb Jackson, I think those 2 are going to be the main guys. I think you're going to see John Emery Jr., Caleb Jackson being the real bell cows for this rushing offense. I think Josh Williams will still get some big-time carries and still have some big-time moments for LSU. He's a big-time player. He's going to do that. I just think the bulk of the carries will go through Caleb and John Emery Jr. And John Emery Jr., he's not being talked about very much. He looks great in fall camp right now. Number 2, though, Kylan Jackson. Kylan Jackson. Not Caleb Jackson. Kylan Jackson. Safety Kylan Jackson. I love what I see from this kid. Already has an interception and a stripped a ball out from somebody. I think it was one of the tight ends just the other day ago. Already forced 2 turnovers. I believe I also had an interception in the spring game, right? If it wasn't an interception, it was something like he did something incredible in the spring game as far as creating turnovers. Had a damn good spring game. Has continued. Had a fantastic spring, all of spring, and now is coming to fall camp, and he's already playing really damn good. Jordan Allen, battling him for that spot next to Jarden Gilbert. It seems Jarden Gilbert, transferred from A&M, has experience as an SEC starting safety and has been successful doing that. I think it's really going to be Jarden Gilbert, and then you either got Sage Ryan, you could have Jordan Allen, or you could have Kylan Jackson. I think with those 3 options, and you're going to see Sage Ryan on the field, either at corner or free safety, either one, but I think Kylan Jackson is a player that's got to be on the field. I don't know how. I don't know where you play him. You could even have Kylan and Sage together. I really don't like the idea of kicking Sage Ryan out to corner. I really don't. He can do it. He can hold his own. He can play it fine. I just think you get the best out of him at safety, and you're not getting the best out of either position. You're kind of putting a guy who's just going to kind of hold serve in either position. I don't really like that. Put the best guys in each spot. Kylan Jackson might just be the best or one of the best free safeties on the team. And I think you owe him every opportunity to see if he can really cash in on that, fulfill that, because Kylan has shown this really supernatural ball hawking ability where he just senses the ball and just goes after and gets that thing in crazy ways where he sees the punch out with the fumbles. He sees the ball in the air with the picks. He can track everything down. He can hunt you down. He's got side-to-side speed that is like a velociraptor. He's got some type of sneaky, underrated speed to him as well. It's just a lot of these young guys Brian Kelly's been recruiting over the last few years. Speed, and more speed. Jelani Watkins runs a 10.1900 meter. Like, there is speed all over this LSU team. And LSU might be a young team, but you know what? It's very promising what this team can do. And I think that energy, that youthful exuberance is going to probably usurp their inexperience in the big moments, because they're going to have those guys on the field who can help get them through those moments, those veterans. And those veterans are only juniors themselves. There's veterans on this team, veterans who are actually sophomores. Like, this is a very young team for LSU. This is supposed to be a team for LSU that's in transition, trying to make up for a missing, Heisman quarterback, 2 first-round receivers who could have come back another year and they're gone, 2 defensive tackles, all-American level defensive tackles who could have come back another year, but they're gone. And this is what we're going to have to be doing. And I think it's going to be across the board a team effort. And for number 1, it's going to be one of these guys that I think is going to have a role to play in that as well, being a team effort. Tyree Adams. Once again, in no order, 5 through 1, but still, Tyree Adams, I think he's going to be so important for this offensive line as the swing man. So important. Him and Weston Davis, you could probably slash together for this, because I think they're the 2 best offensive linemen outside of the starting 5. And I think those guys, if they can come in and contribute strong snaps, this offensive line just gets even better. And it's already empirical. And from what I'm hearing from coaches, they're saying that there hasn't really been too many bad snaps from DJ Chester this entire time at fall camp. and even for spring. He had like 2 in spring, all of spring. One of them was really bad. It went like way up in the air. The other was kind of bounced, and Nuss was able to get it off the bounce. You haven't really even seen a snap that hasn't had the right location from DJ Chester. So it's just these young offensive linemen, once again, incredible athleticism. What we have done recruiting wise for the next few years, and including this season and last season, you can include in this, the speed, the athleticism, the pedigree of these players that we've been able to bring in is incredible. And so many of these guys have been forgotten about, slept on, or taken for granted. And just like Weston Davis, Tyree Adams, people just forget that we even have those guys on the team. People just forget that Kylan Jackson's even on the team. And it's like, well, here I am to remind you. Everybody, tell me what you think. We love doing these videos. We love writing these articles. Tell me what you think. We got our laptop figured out. We will be having our production value, as minimalistic as it already is, back and better than ever. So you won't have to deal with the strange production value from my phone lately. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and watching it. You guys blow my mind the way you guys support us. It's insane. And thank you so much. I also want to just I want to give my love to Sarah Johnson. Oh my God, that lady's amazing. Another person I forgot to say something about, who I talk to all the time. And I think because you talk to them all the time, you forget that they deserve such a tribute. It's kind of like, oh, they already know how much I care about them. You just don't really think of it. And it's like, no, damn it. They deserve to get a public tribute. Sarah Johnson is one of the coolest people I know. I cannot wait to meet her in an LSU game. And I mean, these people are from Georgia. And that's how much they love LSU. That's what I love, is when people from Georgia, people from out of state become LSU fans, such as myself. And I understand the allure of the Tigers as someone from the outside. So I usually am really tight with people like this. But yes. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Definitely check out the articles. The articles always have more info than even what we give here. We try and give as much as we can. We try and shine a light on as much as we can, but I really think the articles might be the secret sauce here. But you know what we're starting to do? We're starting to combine the two, if you've noticed. We're starting to combine the two worlds, where we always were like, oh, we can write better than we can speak. Oh, we should. And now it's like, you know what? Ding! And I think an alarm has gone off, and it's like, okay, now we know what we're doing. And we just have fun with this shit, We're not, oh my God, someone's going to see us that we filmed this at work. Oh my God, we don't need to have the basement studio with the microphones to do a good show. We don't need to have 300 guests from Texags.com and all these, and kissing Alabama fans' asses and kissing UCLA's asses. Like, those are people who want to, eventually commentate other teams. They don't really care about LSU. They want to go national. And it's funny that they're from Louisiana and want to go national. We're from national and we want to go to Louisiana.